What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with a film breakdown. Kind of. Really, I'm just doing prospect reviews. What I think about some of these first-round picks. Probably my favorite first-round pick went to the Detroit Lions. SEWELL out of Oregon, left tackle. This pick is just outstanding. This pick really is just outstanding. I can't tell you guys how excited I am because of what this pick means for the Detroit Lions. And first off, we'll talk about SEWELL. This kid is an absolute stud. I mean, every sense of the word absolute stud. One of the things that I think is so important in tackles these days is you can't just roll out a gigantic human being, 6'6", 3 bills plus, and expect him to lock down the edge of a defense. Kid's got to be an athlete. And SEWELL is every bit of an athlete we see right here working on the screen, just decapitating fools 6 yards upfield. That's what I'm talking about. He can reach guys on wide zone. He can drive block. He can double team. He can do it all. This guy is an absolute savage. His technique is good. I think he gets a little high sometimes. Took last year off. Detroit's offensive line coach is going to have no problem getting this kid ready to roll, though. This pick was so outstanding for the Detroit Lions for a number of reasons. Here he is just drive blocking right here, just mauling dudes. Just absolutely mauling cats off the line of scrimmage. This is the stuff you like to see as an offensive line coach. Here's our boy SEWELL right here. He's going to combo right there on this 4-eye with his guard. And look at us get this movement right here. And then he takes the block over too, works to that inside shoulder pad. He's got to finish. Absolutely love this kid. He's mean. He's athletic. He's quick on his feet. His pass set's awesome. Look at him trying to reach this bad boy. Look at this. Look at this punch right here on your wide zone. It is outstanding. Just a little bit of film breakdown really quick. On wide zone, if you're on the backside, really if you're anywhere where you're going to be helping with a combo, right? Our guard locks up here. This dude's going to get stuck in what I call the gray area, right? Do I hit him? Do I not hit him? Do I work up to this guy right here? What you do in this situation is you make this decision for him. Watch him. Over here, boom, I'm going to push this cat over and then work up to that next level. Absolutely love this pick. It solidifies this Lions offensive line. They were working in the right direction last year when they drafted cats like Jonah Jackson. I just can't say enough about how good this pick is. Really, more than anything, what I love about this is that it's a franchise changer for the Detroit Lions, okay? And the Detroit Lions for the last couple of years, actually, as Luke G would say, for the last 35 years, they have drafted almost specifically skill guys when they've had this top 10 pick, okay? They've almost specifically skill guys. And what happens when you draft consistently skill guys is you get stuck in the revolving door of the NFL draft. The next new shiny, flashy object comes up. Kid's going to be a stud. He's an all-star route runner. He can make every catch. He's great with the football. He can throw the football 80 yards. He can do this. He can do that. He can do whatever. And you get caught in that salesmanship and you take the bait year after year after year after year until finally you get to a point where you sit there and say, this formula isn't working. Unfortunately, it has taken 30 plus years for the Detroit Lions to figure this out. Their organization, I should say, not necessarily them as people, but it's taken them a long time to figure this out. You have to complete, Luke said this last night, I completely agree with him. You have to complete one thing on the rebuild. You have to. You can't start rebuilding the receiving core and then only pick one receiver. You can't start building your offensive line and only pick 3 offensive linemen who are going to be good. You can't start building your defensive line and only have 1 defensive lineman who's a stud. You have to complete the position group. You have to. And that's what the Detroit Lions did with this last night. I think this completes their offensive line. I think it changes this football team. They're going to be able to pound the rock now, right? You got a cat like DeAndre Swift back there. He's got to get 20 touches a game. He's got to. And I put this clip in here just to kind of show you guys, right? Because sometimes, we don't know. We don't know, okay, well, what does this really mean, Cam? What's happening with this pick? I believe SEWELL is going to play right tackle. Okay, you got Taylor Decker locking it down at left tackle over there. He's locked in. He's fine. Things like this happen when you don't have a great right tackle. Okay, all the Detroit Lions are going to be running here is counter. Okay, we're pulling our guard, we're pulling our tight end here. Both of those cats are going. We're leading with our fullback, right? The point of attack on this play is compromised almost immediately. And yes, it's because of the tight end, but it's also because of the tackle, okay? Now, this is tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. This is tricky. We're going to get a stunt right here into this play side gap. 65 works up. He lets him get into this. I mean, look at this. Point of attack is completely blown up. We got nowhere to go on this play. Now, this is one example, but I just wanted to make it quick, okay? When you have a cat like Sewell in there, he's going to be able to wash this dude down quickly, or he's going to be able to turn the corner on this thing, but we're not going to get that into the gap. Now, part of this is the tight end. Absolutely, part of this is the tight end. However, when you have a solid right tackle out there who's mauling dudes, he's able to uproot defenders and get them out of the way. It changes your running game. It really does, right? We see this on the wide zone, I believe, right here. See how like light-footed we are with this? And no offense to 65, but we saw Sewell's wide zone. Now we're looking at 65's wide zone, right? He's stuck in this gray area right here. Sewell's going to knock this cat over into next week and then work up right there. And there's our cutback right in between these two cats, force them to make the play. Okay, but instead we kind of get caught in the gray area, and it's no bueno. So that's what I think Sewell's going to help do. He's phenomenal in pass pro as well, by the way. He's outstanding. He can work with the best of them. His kick set's awesome. He's silky smooth. Like I said, the one thing I think is that he gets a little too high. I think he's a little too extended with his legs. However, offensive line coach is going to take care of that, no problem. Outstanding pick for the Detroit Lions. Like I said, it completes a position group for them. I really think it's going to benefit them in so many ways. You got to be able to run the rock. Jared Goff is a cat who he's much better when he can get that run game going and set up a lot of his run action stuff. So I think that it's going to work wonders for them. I think it's going to open up a lot of stuff offensively. Now they need to finish this draft and continue to pick well with their next couple of picks here in the second and third round, because there's a lot of talented football players still on the board. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, okay? Really, when you listen to like the ESPNs and the Bleacher Reports and stuff like that, to be honest, I think that they have the right view of this pick. They're looking at this as an A-plus pick, and I couldn't agree more. I think that this is an absolute steal for the Detroit Lions. That's 7 overall. This kid could be the best tackle in the draft. The Cincinnati Bengals went and drafted Jamar Chase because Joe Burrow wants him, and the kid just had a massive knee surgery because the offensive line isn't up to par, and they go and they take a receiver. And like, I get it, and I'm sure that there's some good arguments for it. I can't wrap my brain around it, though. I honestly can't. I can't wrap my brain around that. You need to help your boy out. You need to get him protection. Protect your quarterback. Get your running game going. All of that stuff is going to work together and help make a great football team. But you can't do things like that when you continue to just add skill. The Bengals just made a Lions pick from 10 years ago. That's all I'm going to say about it. Now, when you listen to the bigger news outlets, they're pumping the tires on this pick, and I think that they should. I think it's a phenomenal pick. However, there's a couple of news sources out there, and I'm just going to read these for you guys, these headlines. Detroit Lions grade for Oregon O-line Sewell, D for not getting a playmaker. And then more from this cat, Lions passing on Devontae Smith, Patrick Surtain may have Ebron levels of regret. Sewell pick an example of outdated thinking to team building. Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? This is what's being promoted out there? Outdated thinking for picking an offensive lineman? Outdated thinking. Ebron levels of regret for not picking a corner? You just did that last year. You just wasted that 3rd overall pick last year. Not a waste, because I think Okudah could be good. But this is unreal to me, because they didn't draft Devontae Smith or Patrick Surtain. I can't wrap my head around it. I honestly can't. I cannot wrap my head around how people can think this is quote-unquote outdated thinking. Oh, what, are linemen getting phased out of the NFL? Are we phasing out offensive linemen? Did I just pick up an old computer part that doesn't work anymore? No! You completed a piece of this offensive line. You completed the offensive line. You can now look at that offensive line to Detroit and say, that's a legitimate NFL top 10 quality offensive line. You've got Taylor Decker. You've got Jonah Jackson. You've got Frank Ragnow. You've got legitimate football, and you got Sewell. Kid's a top 5 talent in this draft. You got him at 7. Outstanding pick for the Detroit Lions. If that Detroit media wants to talk trash about it, that's on them. But when this Lions team is running the rock 35 times a game and they're pounding teams into submission, because that's what Dan Campbell's going to do, then come talk to me. Then let's see those headlines. Because it's not the outdated thinking. I could not get over that because they didn't pick Patrick Surtain or Devontae Smith. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Outdated. I couldn't believe it. I've gone on too long, though. I've gone on too long about that. I love this pick for the Detroit Lions. It's an outstanding pick. This is the gritty, unsexy pick that you needed to make to start building a franchise, to start building something that could become a legitimate, powerhouse in the NFC North. We don't know what's going to happen in the NFC North this year. We don't. Chicago Bears just drafted Justin Fields, made 0 improvements to their offensive line. We're going to see how that works out. Minnesota Vikings, yeah, they have the potential to make a run. Absolutely, if they can get everything going, but we haven't really seen it yet. And then we got the Green Bay Packers, where Aaron Rodgers just said he didn't want to come back. NFC North is as up for grabs it's been in years, and the Detroit Lions just made the best draft pick of any of those teams. And they've got that team moving forward. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, I applaud both of you guys because this was the right pick for them. This was the right pick. It wasn't sexy. They knew they were going to get shredded in the local media. Mainstream media loves it. Cats like Dan Orlovsky absolutely speaking the truth. Absolutely preaching to these fools. Absolutely preaching to these fools. Let's see if they listen. Right pick for Detroit. More draft coverage coming your way. I'll see you next time.